What's up, everybody? This is Ripples in Wales, back for another video. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. Well, good morning to you. It's Monday. I've had a very busy weekend working. Not any time to make any videos, but I have been a casual observer of the Twitterverse. Need to cut my screen time back this next week. But yeah, what am I seeing in the space? Very interesting stuff going on. Of course, there's the large black swan events going on in Israel and Palestine, and really sad to see that. But I hope that will come to a swift, decisive, peaceful settlement of some sort between both countries. And I think it's something way, way, way bigger than what we're seeing. This goes back a long, long way, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole in this video because I think the videos will be censored. But the Rothschilds were instrumentally involved in the creation of Israel, and I love the Israeli people. I love all the people, and these people are the bad people who are running the planet have caused a lot of confusion and controversy in various countries, and it's of no fault of the people. But let's hope things clear up there. But anyway, it's having a big effect on the world in many different spheres. And yeah, it's one thing to keep not a close eye on, keep your vibrations high and all that, and don't go down those rabbit holes. But of course, in the world that we are all focused in, it has obviously very strong repercussions as well. So that's been obviously heavily in the news. Anyway, this is my Twitter handle at Ripples in Wales. Come and say hello to me here on Twitter. Thank you to all of you who are commenting, liking and subscribing to the channel, the videos. Really, really appreciate it. It has a big effect, and I always try and reply to all the comments. So yeah, drop in and tell me what you think later on after the video. I see that DAI is still blocked off Twitter, which is a real shame. He must have really hit a nerve with some of the content he was pushing over. And so, yeah, I think we're very, very close on this whole ETHgate thing to things starting to unravel slightly, or at least for the populace to start seeing that there's been a real bad goings on beneath the cover of, or the guise of, decentralized blockchain. Some of the amazing researchers in the space that are pushing hard at the minute are Mr. Huber. Keep an eye on his channel, and this amazing channel here, the Truth Labs, Boring Sleuth. But the kind of where this all originates from was Stephen Arieroff, and I've been speaking to him privately, not about anything deep or anything, but just unbelievable courage in this human coming forward and really starting to spill the beans and opening up this wound. And when DAI caught wind of him, there was a lot of dialogue going back and forth because DAI has been super focused on ETHgate. It is his like sangreal almost, and I don't think he was like a dog with a bone. He wasn't going to let go, and I think that's why he's been censored. In fact, I pretty much know that he's been censored. Yeah, on that terms. And so this is Stephen Arieroff, and he's the account to keep a real close eye on. That he's starting to drop some bombs. I mean, yesterday he put this cracking tweet out. Speaking of WikiLeaks, we can use one of my many Ethereum domains as a depository of info. Now he's got documents on this, ethleaks.com. And he's big into the domaining world and dropping this information out for the masses. So keep an eye on that. Yeah, Stephen Arieroff is a warrior of light in this space. They've undoubtedly gone after him pretty heavy. So keep an eye on him. He's a wonderful human for doing what he's doing, and he's taking an incredible risk. I pray that he's just cool and safe, and the bad actors that are after him, or that were after censoring him, are now kind of weaker than they once were. Okay, moving swiftly on, the ETHgate thing will unravel in its own space and time, and we will follow it for sure. I haven't followed it in great detail, but we will. Now, this was something that really popped up of interest to me. Now, this is AI.crypto. He's a big proponent of the Unstoppable Domains brand. and he was covering some of the digital identity stuff, and this is really important. You'll see on my Twitter profile, if you go back, I've got a ripples.xrp, but it's one of the many domain names that I hold and that I own. I'm a domain investor of the new Web3 variety, and this was interesting. This is an article by Onyx by JP Morgan, mentioning a digital wallet and public addresses and digital identifiers in an article. And it talks about the various different Web3 identifier companies. You can have a read of this and screen capture it. It's obviously mentioned ENS. Well, we know how close JP Morgan is to Ethereum, so it's obviously going to mention ENS first. And if ENS is Ethereum Name Service, if you didn't know any better before, but they also mentioned unstoppable domains. That is a big mention in the domain world. And this is Onyx, digital identity and accessing Web3 identity building blocks. Now, this is something you all really need to pay attention to. I've been focused on it for the past 1.5 years since a friend of mine started coaching me on the understandings of what was unraveling with the Internet of Value, the Internet of Things, and the Metaverse, and how VR, AR, and XR technologies all integrated into this. Right? Each of you will have to have a wallet address in the future, which will be likely a name. Maybe it's ripples.crypto, ripples.nft, whatever. But you'll have to have an identifier, and this is where a lot of my time and energy goes into focusing of what are the brands who are doing this, and one of the big ones is Unstoppable Domains. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Anyhow, that's something that popped up on my radar, and it is more important than you realise. I'd urge you all to get your Web3 domains tied down in whatever prefix that you're after. Now, we'll go on to that in a minute, a little bit further on, but also wanted to give you a bit of a heads up on a couple of the accounts that I follow to do with Bitcoin and the greater markets. This chap is brilliant, Benjamin Cohen. Love his work. A lot of my energy and time at the minute is focusing on Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance and how that's going to affect the markets. We're in the beginnings of the relief rally, or the middle part of the relief rally rather, with Bitcoin, and that's where your attention should be focused, not on the altcoins. It's all about liquidity and how that liquidity emanates out into the space. Another one is Finance a Lot, another brilliant account. Keep an eye on these lot. They're pretty damn good, them too. Right, talking about the extension names, you'll see I've got ripples.xrp. Now, I'm not affiliated with these guys. I'm not getting paid to tell you this, but you can buy a .xrp address, which is very early in the space to be able to get this. I would look at your handle, your Twitter handles, as in, you see mine here. I've got ripples.xrp, and whatever your Twitter is, I could do @ripplesandwales.xrp. That's a good way to do these things. But this in the XRP space is the company that's probably doing, I'd say the kind of the best so far that I can see. There is another copycat company. I don't think they'll pull it off as quick as these guys, but I could be wrong. I don't know. You have to take your bet. I've betted on these guys. Again, it's not financial advice. I don't know, but either way, they'll kind of they've got a roadmap. They've been pretty kind of on it with the time being. I have purchased quite a few. You can see some of mine in here. I've got metaverse.xrp, real estate, property.xrp, gaming, banking. So I was in very early on this. I was quite lucky. These are for sale. And yeah, you can pull out all sorts of other ones. I think I've also owned ripples.xrp as well. You can see all of them. I'm not really bothered in you seeing. There you go. I own ripples.xrp, hence it's not listed. Anyhow, another company to look at is Unstoppable Domains. These are amazing, and I have purchased a significant number of these. I think I own over 400 of them as current count. So you can see that I've got skin in the game. Okay, so we've covered the basics today in the early parts of the videos. Let's get on to showing you what I am spotting in the BG123 arena. Cool. We're coming back to the Christmas scene. We're going to have a quick look at this. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. Give me 1 minute. And the biggest thing that's been perplexing me over the past couple of years is this whole scene is a number of years in the process. I've said this many times on my channel. I'm more than resolute about my kind of certainties on this. I break it into 3 parts: the Christmas scene, the library, and then the fireplace and the calendar. And I did that because I could see a chronology moving from left to right. Some of you will use the word timeline. I don't like to use the word timeline on this channel because certain unscrupulous characters in the community, namely Cugs, have ruined this connotation and this term. So we'll use the word chronology instead. And what I want to kind of show in this is that there's definitely a pattern that I'm seeing as to like a 22, a 2023, and a 2024 being shown over and over again. And little things jump out at me sometimes. When I ask better questions, I sometimes get better answers. And what I'm seeing is that the first part of the Christmas scene here is referring to, 2022, 2021, 22. And that was the last cycle 3 peak, how XRP was kind of held off from, getting its Christmas presents. Moving into, so if we look at this, 589 is 22, and we have this first part of the scene representing the peak of the previous cycle in 2021, 2022. And we've got 1 and 2 there, yeah? And then I separate the library into, you can see that there are a number of 3s in here, yeah? 3 bells, Lodestar 1, 2, 3. We have the Ukraine flags in there. That began, I believe, in 2023. Was it late 22? It was beginning 2023, wasn't it, if I'm not mistaken, sadly. And we've got the library case regulation, which came through in, I think, 2022, 2023, early 23, if I'm not mistaken, or late, very 22. Now, so 2022, 2023, and then we're moving into what I believe is 2024. Now, I think they both bleed into one another. I don't think it's like a cut and fast. Now, what I really started noticing more is this symbology of X in this part of the Christmas scene. And why that is of significance is that X equals 2024 in the the British alphabet, or the American alphabet. X is the 24th letter. Next year is 2024. Okay, we've got X on the handle here. That's no accident. We've got X on the Roth shield, the red shield, and we've got the sword pointing to the for you guys. Well, I guess it'd be on the right as we're looking at it, but left on the scene. We've also got the presidential White House, the White House itself, sorry, at the further end where the X is, which is 2024. Now, this represents, I think, the presidential elections, and it moves us into a kind of window in 2024 where things will be very, very uncertain. Now, the bull markets won't even begin until, I guess, in late 2024, as they will print into the political cycles most likely. And so the likelihood is this part of the scene from, in here is 2024. We also know that the level playing field can also be an open-ended, how can I put that? Every year in the Jackson Hole meetings in the Federal Reserve, they have an annual meeting, and that occurs at the same time each year. And so the level playing field can also, we don't know what year it was referring to. Now, each year, I kind of just check across and I'm thinking that it's this year, but we don't know. And it could be any year. It could be 2023, it could be 2024, I don't know. The point in question is the level playing field refers to Jackson Hole and the Federal Reserve meetings. We know that the jar at the top, the regulation molasses, there was a document released by the IMF and FSB calling for regulations within the next year, within 12 months. Now that came through in, I think it was August 2023, so that could easily push up 1 year ahead into August 2024. This would signify that the end of the bear market. And it's interesting, none of us really know how this will play out, but it's starting to look more and more like this will be into 2024. We've got, the knight protecting the dollar. Now, if you understand what a bridge asset does, is it enables more use of the dollar, yeah? Because it enables more pairings. So all these stable coins that are like, in the USD, USDC, USD Tether, they're all enabling greater use of the dollar. That's why they haven't been squashed. So they're giving people greater access to the US dollar. I think that what will happen is eventually Tether will become unstuck, because it's, you know, it probably was born of the wrong entities, you know, in a bad way. And I think that you'll see USDC become the dominant de facto payment token on the, you know, multi-ledgers. It's pushing very heavily on the Stellar network at the minute, but it'll be on every network. It's not just that. And that's how they're going to create the liquidity for it. So the US dollar is helped by the XRPL and XRP and XLM and all these other X assets. So this was the revelation I had. 2022, 2023 with the bookcase, moving into 2024 with these X's here. You know, there is a great deal of things that line up with this whole thing playing out in 2024, because everything ties into a very sensitive geopolitical time. Printing will occur in the cycle, and we're at the beginnings of the kind of turnaround for cycle 4 for Bitcoin, which will carry on in its kind of native role. I don't think it's going to have too many problems as we once thought, but we'll see. Who knows? Anyhow, I'm going to leave it for that now. That's the kind of, so these X's are the kind of the real thing that jumps off the page to me right now. But I hope that's all of use for you all. Please give the video a like and a share, or a subscribe, or a comment, or whatever. Just have an interaction with it. I'll get back to you all, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Okay, for now, be blessed.